Welcome to another episode of NEC Suites, where we interview community leaders to provide thoughtful insights to our business community. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing Graciela Noriega Jacoby, who is the Chief Operations Officer for Heart of Florida United Way. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, one of the things that we do here is obviously have a conversation that ties to information for our business community, but it's important to also get to know you a little. When we do these interviews this year, we've done hobbies of our guests. In this case, you do RVing because it's 1,000 degrees out and it's still kind of, even though it's September, it's still summer-ish.
Yes.
We are taking a different approach to camping and RVing and doing something that's synonymous with camping and RVing, which is
making s'mores.
That's right.
One of my favorite parts of camping.
There's nothing better than the smell of roasting marshmallows, I think. I'll have you walk me through how you guys build it, if your family does it any particular way. And as we're building it, if you could answer the question for me, what got your family into camping and RVing, and why do you find it relaxing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, wow, you have really outdone yourself. I mean, the little candies, this is extra special.
Taking it up a notch.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we're traditionalists. The graham cracker, the chunk of chocolate. I like 2 pieces versus 1, and I also like 2 marshmallows on mine.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you just make a sandwich. Some people prefer that their marshmallows get nice and flamey, and then they blow it out, and it's this crispy, charred. Not me. I like golden brown.
I'm so glad to hear that, because we're inside a facility, and any flames just never
sprinklers might go off. Yes, absolutely. So, I brought my retractable. So, yes, if the flame is too high, you can always, create some distance.
We have little ones at I've got little
Your
ones
choice.
At the house.
Your
and
choice.
And I've got we'll do it with the fireplace or the big pit, and because they're so little and don't know, to necessarily stay away. So I've got like 3, they go 3 yards, I swear.
All right, so just start however you like it.
I like to just roast the marshmallow, and when it's toasty, just kind of consume the marshmallow.
You skip all the other goodies.
Yeah, not my kiddos though. Don't get me wrong. There, they enjoy all the accoutrements that go with it and building the little sandwich. So, but you pointed something out that I thought was interesting is for younger kiddos using a chocolate chip cookie.
Yes.
So roast the marshmallow and just kind of
absolutely, because there's the chocolate, there's kind of the cookie or the graham cracker already, and you just roast the marshmallow and put it all together.
That's clever. I hadn't thought of that, but then it's less of a mess. Because inevitably there's chocolate all over the house.
Absolutely. Camping for me actually started when I was a Girl Scout. Where I really, and it's sure, the exercise, the activity is camping, but it's really about adventure and exploration and, being in nature.
It is.
That's really what it is. So, the literal vehicle has been a tent. But once we had kids, I was like, we're going to need some air conditioning and some beds here and something to close them in.
Yeah.
So we actually started out with a pop-up camper.
Nice.
That we borrowed from a friend. I had, once upon a time, I had a very stressful job with the mayor's office.
Yeah.
I was not able to do much camping. So when that job came to an end, term limits, we decided we were going to get an RV, and we were going to make a point to go at least once a month, even if it was to Wekiva Springs.
Down the road,
just to get away from your weekend chores, laundry, everything that comes with what you have to do during the weekend.
Adulting,
and have adventures with the kids and just be able to sit around a fire, make s'mores,
have
play
that same
games.
Experience with them that you had with the Girl Scouts.
Absolutely.
But do it as a family.
Yes. So we started with the pop-up, and we ended up getting about a 24-foot little travel trailer. As the kids got bigger, it became evident, for them to want to go, they need to bring a friend. So we upgraded to a 34-foot RV travel trailer.
34 foot.
Oh, yes. Double bunk beds. By the way, we're willing to sell it if anybody is interested.
Or rent it out.
Because now that we've got a bigger RV.
You've got a second one.
And the kids are leaving. We want to go smaller.
Okay.
No,
so
34 has been the tops.
I was going to say, what size is after 34?
Well, they get bigger and more expensive.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at, okay, we need to start getting smaller now that, the kids are getting older, and our daughter Juliana's off in Tallahassee going to FSU. So, we'll have to make some adjustments in how we are, enjoying the outdoors and
You
going
can take him to
camping
go
on the
see
beach.
her in Tallahassee.
Well, actually, that's true. Parents' Weekend is coming up, and I'll tell you, the hotels are astronomical. So a $60 site at an RV park is very, very, very good deal.
Looking
very
good.
good deal.
So you enjoy the nature, it reminds you of growing up and those experiences as well. There was a study that I had read, and I'm not going to be able to cite the location, but it was a study done about people that did physical fitness. And they compared stress levels of individuals who worked out in the gym and those that worked out in nature, the hiking, the running outdoors, etc. And stress levels went down for both because they were working out, but it was more reduced for those that did things outside in nature. And so
totally makes sense. I mean, nature is an opportunity to just ground yourself. I mean, quite literally, take your shoes off and, put your feet in the grass and, in the dirt. I mean, it is literally a grounding exercise. There's nothing that gives you a sense of being humble than knowing that there's this universe around you and these miracles around you, whether it's the budding plants growing or baby animals. I mean, there's just the sense of wonder, and all of that gives you it recharges the battery.
Peace. Yeah, sense of peace. So you mentioned the mayor's office. What was your professional trajectory? What got you to this cool position that you're in now?
Yeah, I moved to Orlando from Sarasota in 1993. That's when I graduated from high school. So do the math.
A little older than you, so you're still a youngin'.
I moved here, and I moved to Orlando, really picking UCF as there we go. Oh, that's how I like it. In 1993, UCF was just a small school, and I really wanted to be involved. I really wanted to be involved in student activities and just feel that sense of community. Yeah. And it was great. It was great. I was part of every organization, from the surf club to president of the United Nations Association, student body senate. I did it all, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, that's part of the college experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, being able to explore all those different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so during my time there, I actually never did an internship, but I had tremendous mentors in my life. And one of my mentors, who is very well known in the community, a child advocate, Dick Batchelor.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it Dick Batchelor? When you said child advocate, I was like, oh.
Yes, ding, 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 you're right.
Yeah, he's
so
incredible.
He came, it was like a public policy, or no, what was it, a political science society. I was part of that organization too. My major was political science with an emphasis on international relations. Dick came, spoke, and at the very end of his remarks, he said, if anybody wants to reach out to me, have a cup of coffee, I can give some advice, I can be a listening ear. I called the very next day.
Oh, good for you.
Called the very next day, scheduled a coffee with him, and promptly got on his calendar, and he took me under his wing.
Oh, ever since then.
In life, you need to have a support system. You need to have people that are your champions. You need to have your cheerleaders.
Great sounding boards.
Your truth tellers to say, hey, you're going down the wrong path. You might be making a mistake. You need to have these people in your life. And he was somebody in my life that was advocating for me, that saw something in me. Yeah. And I am about ready to put this on my graham cracker. And he made a connection with Linda Chapin, who was running for Congress at the time. He made the connection, and I ended up working on her campaign.
Which is how we actually met.
That is right.
And now there's a county commissioner that also was on that same campaign trail.
Yes.
And we were just, volunteers.
But how life does, right?
That's actually when we first met. And now that you say that, I'm like, that's right.
So I was her deputy finance director during the campaign. And I had my life planned out from that point on. I was moving to D.C. I was going to help open the office. My foreign policy dreams were going to come true. She did not win that election. No, she didn't. It was a major upset.
Yes, it was.
That race was one of the top 10 races in the country. So working on the campaign was extremely exciting. Extremely exciting. I didn't know what I was going to do at that point. Kind of, wallowing in my pity. And Linda, who is just such an incredible person, was not going to let me falter. So she was like, we're going to get you a job. And she knew of a newly elected county commissioner, Teresa Jacobs. Made the connection.
Yeah.
I interviewed. I got the job as one of her aides, and I was with her for 8 years.
Oh, I didn't realize it
for
was
the
all,
full 8
yeah.
years in the
She had just
District
gotten
1
elected.
office.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then she decided to run for mayor, so I had a brief stint with the Orange County Library System, which is an incredible, resource in the community.
As well. Absolutely.
Especially for small businesses. I know we're going to talk about small businesses soon, but the library is a tremendous resource and free. Free.
Correct. FREE, that's my favorite word.
Yes. Teresa ran for mayor. She won, and I said, I know my limitations. I want to be part of the team. I just can't be the scheduler. I know that I will do a horrible job. I will not do well. You will fire me immediately. And she, chuckled and she said, well, I really want you to serve as my chief of staff.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to serve in that capacity for 8 years.
Yeah.
It was an incredible experience, a tremendous responsibility. And, of course, there was the tough times, but there was a lot of rewarding times.
Absolutely.
So during my time there, of course, there's term limits. So time was coming to an end. What am I going to do next? And I started getting some other experiences. I was an adjunct professor at Valencia for about 3 years, just to see if that might be a path that I wanted to go down.
Go back and teach,
and a couple other things I explored. Ultimately, I decided that I would do some consulting and I would pick up a few more classes at Valencia. And at that time, I made my decision. Jeff Hayward, the new president and CEO of United Way, said, Graciela, I'd love to talk to you about a position I have. You know how life does.
Yeah.
Unplanned.
Yeah.
What was my trajectory? Certainly it was, I have some great skills. I have a great network. And I had a little luck on my side.
Yeah. It's I like that. We have a lot of commonalities in our trajectory and just individuals that have influenced our lives.
Yes.
So I blame George Rodon, who was the chief of staff to Linda Chapin, for my start in government because like you, I went to UCF and I was looking for an internship. He had just literally hung up with the guidance counselor that I was scheduled to go see. And she was like, what a neat opportunity. She was like, so she connected us and I interviewed and just clicked. And so that was my last semester at UCF.
Yes.
And then I finished the weekend of my internship and went to go work for Mary Johnson. It just, the timing was coincidental in that interview process. And I was with her for a number of years as well.
Yes,
so,
yes. Parallel paths.
Yeah, absolutely.
We walked.
Absolutely.
All right, put your top on. Let's do a little cheers. Cheers.
Salud.
Oh, yeah.
This is the only interview where we're going to get to eat candy while we chat business.
Oh, it's good.
So now you're with United Way. Of course, I've got it all over my face.
It's a sticky situation.
It is, literally. What kind of help does United Way provide small businesses?
So United Way celebrated its 85th year of being in this community just recently. Nice. So while United Way worldwide is over 100 years old, here in this community, United Way has been around for 85 years.
Wow.
And during those 85 years, the community has called on United Way to respond to crisis in the community, whether it's individuals who might be facing financial crisis, whether it's hurricane. During the aftermath of the Pulse shooting, United Way stood up, the Orlando United Assistance Center. So United Way really responds in whatever way the community needs us to respond. We pride ourselves in being nimble, being responsive, and being a troubleshooter.
I like that.
So that's kind of who we are as an organization. That's really our ethos. But when it comes to how do we support businesses, a variety of ways. There's opportunities certainly to give back to the community, engage in giving back to those individuals that might need a hand up or might need to have the opportunity to maybe stabilize their financial situation and look for opportunities to maybe have stackable skills to be able to advance in their career. United Way provides those type of direct service programs, but also investing in those organizations that amplify the work. Volunteerism is another core area of work that we do. So engaging employees in volunteerism,
to give back
maybe
to the
even as a group, maybe it is part of a culture building exercise.
Well, I was going to say team building. I mean, would you do something like that? Get a group together and have them work on something?
Absolutely.
That's an incredible way to.
It could be something from kit packing. Let's say a company might have an emphasis on, impacting education for young people. Well, maybe it is creating some type of toolkit, a kit that could be given to teachers throughout the districts to give to students. It could be food packing. It could simply be joining us for our annual Thanksgiving project and helping pack 6,000 meals is our goal this year.
6,000, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's just a tremendous opportunity to bring your folks together, and they're family friendly. So bring the family too.
Yeah.
And you really build that culture, the culture of giving. And then of course there's opportunities to engage your workforce in philanthropy through workplace giving.
And that's one of those things that they find. Most younger employees are looking to work with companies that have, an interest in giving back to the community. But what a neat way. I love the team aspect. So folks that are interested, just reach out to your office, community engagement team.
Absolutely. HFUW.org would be the website, hfuw.org. But on the flip side, there are people that sometimes face uncertainties in life, whether it's a financial surprise where they're trying to think, how am I going to repair my car to be able to get to work, to I have an aging parent and I have no idea how to navigate this complicated system to find support for my aging parent. It could be an array of issues that somebody might be facing, even thinking dark thoughts to harm themselves.
Yeah.
And United Way actually provides 2 vital services to the community. 211, 3-digit number 211, which is an information and referral hotline. It is stacked with thousands of resources in the community. And then we have our 988 crisis and lifeline.
988, okay. Oh, the crisis line.
The crisis line. So 988 is we're part of the Suicide Prevention National Network, where somebody who may be thinking to harm themselves or know somebody who might be thinking about harming themselves or somebody else, they can call 988. And we have trained specialists that will be able to assist, de-escalate situations. And in some cases, we work with a company, Devereaux, who does mobile crisis in this community. So if there is a parent or even a roommate at a college campus, whatnot, and they feel as though somebody is maybe having a mental struggle, they can call 211 and we will deploy trained folks to go and de-escalate a situation, which prevents an arrest record or law enforcement to get involved. Sometimes people just need to be able to talk to somebody.
Correct, and just don't realize that mental health support is there. 988 for crisis, and then 211 for a little more, for information on a more overarching health and support.
And those are 2 great resources that companies can promote to their employees, to the employees' families. Sometimes it's not even for the employees to utilize. It could be a family member. But knowing that there's 3-digit easy numbers that you can call for information and support, that sometimes is all you need to save a life.
You've referenced, and when we talked about your professional trajectory, you went from being super active in college with a number of volunteer activities that you did. You've managed the financial aspect of a high-profile campaign. You've worked for pretty influential elected official who had also a number of different initiatives. What's your secret to time management? Because all of those, you're wearing multiple hats, and in this role, it's no different.
Yes.
What's your secret to time management?
I think people typically say, you got to find the balance. That's a myth.
Yeah.
Finding the balance is a complete myth. It's a scale. It's like a 2-scale thing. Sometimes you got to give a little bit here, and you got to sacrifice a little bit there, and it ebbs and it flows. It depends, right? So the idea of finding the balance in life, I wouldn't even subscribe to it. I'm all about managing expectations, including my own.
Managing expectations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is one of my themes. And I know people who listen to this will say, oh yeah, she's told me that directly. I am really big on lists. I make a list about everything. I'm like, I have collaborative lists, where people can add to the list. And sometimes I put stuff on the list just so I can put a check mark and feel a sense of accomplishment.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Be able to scratch it out. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know the adage, what gets measured gets done.
Mm-hmm.
What gets scheduled gets done.
Yeah.
So you look at my calendar and I have a full day every day. Some of it's work time. Some of it's just think time. Some of it is meetings, travel time. Everything is scheduled, so I am held accountable.
Yeah. And it gets done.
And it gets done.
It gets done.
And then, the other kind of tactic, because it's always reprioritizing. I can't come into a day and say that, okay, I've got my day planned out, and this is what's going to happen from, 8 to 6. Absolutely not. Sometimes, got to pivot. So I subscribe to the important and urgent matrix.
Okay.
So if there's something that's going on, or if I'm asked to do something, I think about what are my priorities? Is it urgent? Is it important? If it's urgent and important, then that's number one.
Yeah.
If it's urgent, well, how important is it? So I think about the activities that I do based on, many times, what's urgent and important if it's not scheduled.
What was the best business advice you've ever been given or that you give? Best business advice you've ever been given or that you give?
Jeez. So the best advice, I would probably go with, and I'm sure somebody gave me this advice, and then I, in turn, I pay it forward. So I give this advice too. But it kind of goes back to this idea of, I attribute to much of my success to, honestly, others, people that I have surrounded myself with, this support system. So, and people play different roles.
Correct, yeah.
And I know what roles they play. In fact, sometimes I tell them the roles that they have to play. I need people to be truth tellers. I need people to say to me, Graciela, are you sure this is a good idea? Are you sure that would be what you would do and what you would say?
Or think of it this way.
Yes.
Yeah, different perspectives.
Yeah. Sometimes I just need cheerleaders. You got this, girl. You rock. I need that.
Yeah.
I need people who are my confidants, that I can trust, that I can be very vulnerable with.
Yeah.
So I know that I have a group around me that plays these different roles. And I think that is the secret to my success.
It's surrounding yourself with...
That's my advice to others.
Yeah, surround yourself with good individuals, the truth tellers.
Yes.
That'll also be cheerleaders. Well, I've enjoyed the conversation, and I've enjoyed the s'more.
Oh, yes.
I got it on my face, so I'm going to eat it after we get off camera.
Yeah, we'll finish this up in a minute.
After this, but... Thank you for spending time with us. And with all our episodes, we wrap up with a phrase. So if you'll look into the camera with me, and we'll say it together. Start or grow your business. Make connections. NEC the possibilities. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.